Hello everyone, awesome to see that Live just released a brand new demo, adding in many quality of life features, a new terraformation stage, and it looks like our save data will now carry over to the full game. Sadly, last time we played, that was a playtest, meaning my 20 hours in the game are just lost. Alright, let's connect ourselves to the power grid so we get some electricity in our bot. Install the mining module. I guess we only need a small backpack for that. And let's disable licensed music, shall we? Alright, so if you don't know, as it has been a little while, the main appeal to Blossom is it's a terraformation game. We are on Mars, but it's more so centered around power cables like this. We have to take it from a battery to this door, for example, to charge it up and open it up. Also, our inventory is just a couple backpack slots, so it's kind of similar to Astroneer in many ways. Luckily, this doesn't actually power the door itself. This powers the entire building, so now we can use this cable as well. So everything should be getting powered now. I mean, there's only a crafting station in here, so... But at the start here, we have to go out, get some modules for our little dude, upgrade them. And eventually our goal is to get the encryption key to actually properly get started. And the encryption key costs 1 copper ore, a regolith chunk, as well as some power. So let's go out already. But I guess before we do that, let's charge up a little bit. You can see it on the back of our, well, backpack. Something I've learned in this game is you don't really want to take too many items, as inventory space is kind of very limited. Let's see, regolith chunks, they're just laying on the floor. There's also some blueprint vaults around. We do want to take those. And it seems like the map is randomly generated, because it looks completely different from what I saw before. Either that or the developer just completely changed the map. So now we can insert the key. A little box opens up, or well, falls out of the ship. And we now also have this. I guess it's just tutorial and information. Alright, good. I don't think that was there before. Alright, let's deploy the printer. There we go. Nice. This is where we can also feed these discs in, and it does require power. Let's give it some of that. Putting all these blueprint discs. That is also a objective that we got. And we can craft the main bulk in here. Like the drills, which help us terraform the planet. And more stuff for our base, as well as power extender. Seems like we need composite metal, as well as a pressure core. Which I imagine is, yeah, it's done in here. Iron regolith chunk, as well as silica and sulfur. For silica, we needed a mining module upgrade. Did we though? Because maybe I'm misremembering. I am confused. Because there are these things up the mountain, right? Oh no, I guess we can mine these. They do take an absolute ton of electricity though. I'm pretty sure this battery also has so much power. Yeah, it's overcharged right now. But once that is gone, we are screwed. Let's see, for the backpack upgrade, we also require some sulfur, which are these yellow rocks. Again, these are rather tough. Taking up almost our entire battery. So with that, we got a larger backpack. Right, I think before we start wasting a bunch of electricity, let's go out and see if we can find some of those chests around. Because I imagine one of them does have a either solar panel or wind turbine. I don't remember which one it was. I will say the world does seem a lot more populated, so if it is random generation, this world is definitely better. If it isn't, then I do like that the developer changed it in such a way that you can actually see some more interesting things in the distance. It also feels like we have to go out a bit farther for these blueprints. Oh, what's that green stuff over here, though? Haven't seen that before. Uranium. I maybe have seen it before, but not in this way, although I honestly can't remember. It's been such a long time now. And with that, I mean it's been like a year. I guess while we're wondering about looking for this final vault, previously when we played this, the video style was quite different, because I was trying something new, which was highly edited, scripted content. So basically in, I think the video was like 20 minutes, we played the entire game basically, which in a way was really cool and nice, because it allowed me to play the game for a little longer before having to edit the videos, because it does take out a huge chunk of playing the game. So I feel like I'm often far behind to what most other people have seen and played. But on the other hand, it really quickly taught me that I didn't really enjoy it as much. because I didn't have much of the interaction with you guys in the comments. I don't really enjoy the editing part as much of making content, so that was kind of a huge thing for that kind of style. So while the videos did like tremendously better than my regular content, I ended up scrapping it and going back to this type of style. And I guess another fun fact is I was gonna start this video off by making a joke about the name. It was gonna be something along the line of, today we're playing Blossom, not to be confused with this other Blossom, which is a Zelda-like game. And then, well, maybe I'm the only one that would confuse that because they're both very obscure games. I realized that after I looked up the proper subtitle name for the other Zelda-like Blossom game, it wasn't just Blossom, it was called Blossom Tales, so totally that joke kind of fell through. Or where the heck is this chest at, man? Or maybe if we installed the info module version 2, it would show us where it is. Because we cannot really get into terraformation unless we have a source of power. And annoyingly, I think this next blueprint might have the key for that. Sweet, but it immediately wants us to get the second one. This one only shows a compass. What does the second one take? Just 2 iron? That ain't too bad. Right, now it shows us the base, and I guess that right there might be the blueprint we're looking for. I thought for a second it went to that building over there, but no. How the hell did I miss this? I think I even walked past it at some point. Well, that's why the dev probably included this little info module for blind people like me. Right, install the fuel generator. Now, what does that cost? Copper wire as well as composite metal. And then I'm pretty sure we also require fuel or energy rods, I think they were called. Maybe just these ones. Yeah, I think energy rods were power cells is what I was thinking of, but that's for something else. Alright, so we need a lot of regolith, copper as well as metal, or iron, I guess. From memory, though, these bloody regolith chunks are kind of annoying to spot. Well, it seems like there's more around now, because they are vital to survival on the planet. But there we go. I also like how it immediately goes to your backpack. I don't think that was there before. Okay, and then we place it in the back here, because I want to have it connected to the building. There we go. Now connect it up. Never mind, it wants us to build a battery as well. I guess it has to go through there? That's kind of the problem for not having played it in a while. Or we need sulfur as well as copper. So it might be me, but it feels a bit faster paced now. And also, this actually generated power. That might be because this one is no longer overcharged. Well, it still is. I'm not sure then. Maybe we took it from the generator, the electricity, instead of the battery this time. Alright, power cell coming up. And that turns into a battery. Alright, let's take this cable. I guess throw it in the battery, and then from the battery can go to the house. Alright, we're immediately getting thrown into the deep end. We have to terraform. We have to construct a drill, which takes a pressure core as well as composite metal. And then we constantly have to feed it power. So what we probably also want is this, the power extender. So that means we need a ton of iron, we need a ton of chunks. And for the pressure core, we need silica as well as sulfur. Alright, let's get 2 pressure cores. As with that, we should be able to now get 2 tier 1 drills. These are absolutely bloody massive. My god. They didn't used to be. Alright, power them up. We have to dissipate the fog and dust storm, and that's gonna take probably ages. We can see it in the terraformation analyzer. Now, we already have the blueprint for it, right? Yeah, because we can make it. We just need glass, which I think we could craft. But first, let's place down the second drill so it goes a little faster. There we go. I'm not sure what this is going to do for our power situation. It seems to be doing fine so far, I think. Is it still gaining power, or is this just immediately releasing all of it? It's slowly gaining power still. Okay, good. Right, so we need glass up next. The regolith chunk as well as silica. Alright, here's some glass. Terraform analyzer. I'm gonna place that right here. Then we have to unlock a blueprint from the terraform analyzer. Huh, I thought this was already available in the demo. I guess not. Which I think is fine. It also doesn't seem like There's a whole lot here. So we're almost at the wagon blueprint, as well as the storage unit. Ooh, some of these later ones are also not available in the demo. I'm pretty sure they were in the playtest. Alright, so what does... Proximity charger, yes, that's something we want. That seems pretty good. Alright, create blueprint discs. Give me those. Slap these in here for the wagon, as well as the storage. I don't think I'll be making those just yet, but... Where do we get to the first heater? Do we get to the heater? We have a temperature station thing here. Right, I think what was necessary is we have to get it from somewhere else. There was... Where is it? That tower over there? I think that had what we need. So I think while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna try find a couple more of these chunks. We'll need them regardless, so it's good to have. I'll also slowly make my way towards that spire over there, just to see what we needed in order to open it up again. Alright, I can't seem to interact with this. Oh, that's because the interaction part was here, right? Yeah, we need to have a small mining laser. And then I'm pretty sure we needed to power up this base as well in order to actually get in. Okay, it seems like the regolith chunks, they're a lot more abundant now. When are we gonna get our next thing? Very soon, actually. Pretty much right now. Now. But we got the mining laser. We actually have a use for our cart as well now. I think it could be a nice thing to start working on that. We need copper wiring for the... Wait, no, never mind. I remember. This is the wagon, not the actual car. When did we unlock the car? The rover at stage 4. I wonder if we can actually put the laser on it and then just drag it. Let's try that out. Because I think that was possible. I think it's also time soon to start working on some of these modules. So that we, for example, mine a bit faster and run faster. There we go. Okay, cool. We can just drag it along. I think for our mining laser, though, we would need to get basically 2, right? Because we need a battery to hold a bunch of power so we can actually start mining with this. I think before that, what I want to get is the mining upgrade. That's 2 copper as well as silica. Alright, mining module version 2. And I guess we may as well tick off a bunch of these. The sprint module seems to be pretty simple. It's just for iron. So as easy as that. Let's see, for the next ones, we just need a lot of copper by the looks of it, and we can get a ton of them. But the nice thing now is we can actually run. We go a lot faster. So construction module, info module, as well as the light module. Nice, and then we just have mining and overlay. Overlay just costs 1 silica. The mining module takes 2 items we haven't found yet. So let's go find some silica. Simple enough, seeing as it's right on top of the mountain here. Ooh, we have cleared the fog. Yeah, it does seem like that. It looks a lot brighter now, which is nice. Alright, overlay. There we go. Don't exactly know what that did. Oh, right, that was this thing, right? The power overlay. And then we get an absolute ton of new things to play around with, like the fuel generation tier 2, the drill tier 2. Alright, so the fuel generator tier 2, it produces more power, it also has more fuel slots, and it is more efficient. However, we would require silver wire for that, so we need to find silver. Same thing for the terraformation. Bit more power, basically 3 times as much, almost 4. But similarly, it does 5 times the terraformation compared to the number, or the tier 1 drill. However, I think first things first, what we want to do, right, is get this mining laser. So we need another wagon for this, because I also need the battery. I'm guessing that up there might be silver, actually. I know, I'll check it out. And there's aluminum, but we cannot mine that by hand. We need to have the small mining laser. Alright, we have both wagons. And we can connect these to each other. Oh, I found the silver. It's right here next to the sulfur. Alright, but then we got our battery. I guess the printer doesn't really need power for right now, so we'll charge up the battery. Then for our mining laser, we need glass as well as thermogel. Thermogel's just some sulfur. Oh, that ain't too bad. Alright, we seem to have run into an issue. The generator was empty, so I filled them up. But it does mean we have, like, no power in reserve, making charging a lot more difficult. Also crafting a lot more difficult, because it also requires power. Meaning the tier 2 generator became a lot more of a necessity suddenly. However, that doesn't really change our current goal, as we would need the mining laser regardless. The fun part is, because we're so low on power, mining that sulfur piece kind of devastating. But alright, I think we have enough supplies now to make that mining laser. However, I doubt we have enough power for it. Yeah, we need 10. I think we have to take some power from this battery. I don't want to do that, though. That does, however, mean if we're going to move it, it's going to just drain everything. So now we have a mining laser. We can get silver. Meaning our next order of business would be to get the generator tier 2. And I doubt I can just drag this along. Nope. Well, I can, but the entire thing is just empty now. Alright, charge the battery. I feel like we're gonna have ice forming before I'm done with this power project. I guess in the meantime, I may as well look for the Redolith chunks. It is kind of crazy how on top you gotta be of this, though. I think you can royally screw yourself over. You know, ultimately, we could also make another tier 1 generator. But I mean, we're already this close to a tier 2 anyway. Let's see if we can drag it towards the silver, and if it starts mining it, while being technically at base power. Yes. Okay, it does not have the power required for this, man. If I'm stuck to it, we'll probably just take... Oh, it works fine now. I think this is a glitch, though. That slowly takes my power now. I'm thinking I'm gonna disconnect the drills for a second here. That way I can just do my crafting real quick. Because we only need a little bit of power for the second tier of generators. There we go. Then these things can be plugged back in. And I need to find, there we go, the spots where that goes. Can I charge myself with this? Yes. Okay, great. We would need another battery, and then presumably another extender. So what is that all going to cost? The power cell, as well as more metal. Let's remove it from this extender, plug it into this one, and then plug that extender into that one. Now we should go a lot faster. Our production should basically be skyrocketing now. Yeah, that feels so much better already. Let's hook it up to our drill. Yeah, look at how fast that goes. That's so good. And I wonder if it's just better to take the tier 1 away and slot everything into the tier 2 instead. I'll let it do its thing and we'll see what happens. Let's see what else we're gonna get. The tier 2 wagon, a rover, you know, that ain't too bad. As well as a refiner, which requires aluminum alloy, so we're not gonna worry about that right now. Let's see, we need a power cell for the rover, because I got a spare silver wire. I came prepared. Now, I did not come prepared for the tier 2 wagon, however, and this one actually does seem to be pretty nice to have. We just have more inventory, basically. And that's what I want to use this cart for, is just put storage modules on there. But for right now, let's go get her up another power cell. And let's grab the extra wire. And let's make the rover tier 1. Hook that up to there. Oh, and it even comes with one extra slot as well. That is actually pretty good. Realistically, I think the smartest thing to do is just add the battery to it. Just so we can stay out a little longer. I think that's what I'm going to do. So there we go. The battery module goes on here. And we just need to hook it up so it has full power. Alright, let's go check out what was in there. Because we should have enough power. We have the mining laser. We can actually mine it. Nice. It's gonna take a little while though. And it's gonna spit out quite a bit of iron, which we don't really need at the moment. How much power is that taking? Surprisingly, for how much this is, not a lot. Alright, sweet. And now we can get in here. So we can download temperature station computer stuff. Alt-E to recover memory fragment. It doesn't seem to work. Probably because it doesn't have a power here, right? So if we hook up the power, now you work, right? Oh, we have to hold it down. Yeah, never mind. It does actually say that, doesn't it? Chapter 3. Probably know what I want to read first. Are you chapter 1? No, all of this is chapter 3. When the truth could no longer be hidden, humans made a choice. They shut the governing intelligence down. They feared its silence less than its certainty. Without guidance, the world became loud. Every voice wanted control. No one wanted responsibility. The machines went still. Systems that once held the world together simply stopped. Because they couldn't be trusted anymore. Without automation, small tasks became exhausting. They had forgotten how much they depended on help. Yeah, I feel like that'd be pretty accurate to real life. And I guess let's go back home. We now have something. We have a little data chip that tells us where to go. I don't think that shows on our compass though, does it? I feel like we need to plug it in somewhere. But I kind of forgot where. There is a data recovery terminal. Maybe we need that? Or the temperature station launch terminal. Well, either way, it seems like we have to wait a bit. We'll have to check that out on the next episode, most likely. Right now, let's get the overlay version 2. That seems to be pretty easy still. Just requiring some sulfur. We should probably drain this whole entire place soon. Once the ice starts forming, we don't really have access to this, if I remember right. Right, overlay. There we go, that adds just another menu. So pressure's almost done. And then I think we only have access to temperature still. And then slowly the rest is coming in. I really want to have this proximity charger. That just seems super helpful. We also are very close to solar power. How many batteries do we have left still? A decent amount. I think our first order of business in the next episode should be to completely clear out this hole of all its silver as well as sulfur. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.